Build 42 is out finally, and it's coming back very powerful. They really put so much effort into it. I really appreciate the team. And they in this video we're going to talk about not every because there are tons of changes, but most of the, like, at least nice ones that happened in the game. We're going to talk about them. So if you're in for it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I make some Project Zomboid contents, also making some other game contents, basically For Honor. And yeah, if you enjoy it, I catch you guys in other videos. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Okay, the first impression that you get, the first change that you can see is when you want to select your spawn point, you will be presented with this map, with this beautiful map. Although the resolution are a little bit bad when you zoom out, but when you zoom in, it'll be nice. It's built like this. To like watch it at this zoom, but they need to fix that. It's not very pleasant to the eyes to have pixelated and very low resolution map. But I really like it. I really like everything of it. It's very immersive and stuff like that. They're going to fix it. It's not official release. It's basically call it as a testing ground, something like that. A test game, a test version. So another thing that will catch your eyes is that, oh, look at that, there are some cities spawning on the west side of the map. Like, basically this portion is all new. And you have a new spawning point, Echo Creek, which has a gas station, which it has a church, it has a mechanical shop, and it has a bunch of farms around it. These are all a bunch of farms, and it has a shooting range as well. And you can basically, they put it here for people who really want to search these major cities. So there are 3 major towns, these Irvington, Ikran, and Brandenburg or whatever, which are basically, like, I can say, I'm going to show you guys every single one of them, but you will get the vibe of West Point and Riverside, mostly these two, maybe Muldra as well. They're nothing like Louisville. Louisville is just another jewel, another thing. And they look pretty good. They look pretty detailed. The roads are very detailed. Everything is nice. And it has some interesting stuff, like the gun stores that do not have any barricades, any fences. They actually are ransacked by people, so you can't find much there. Very interesting thing. And also, if you want to, like, have a little little fun with the cars, there's a speedway here. You can, especially in the server, you can have some race between people. So this is the first thing that you can see. The next interesting thing that you will immediately notice is that they added new occupations: livestock farmer and the blacksmith. And with these two comes tons of new mechanics that we're going to talk about them. But the first thing that I'm going to talk about is, let's go to the custom. Another thing is, there is no unemployed occupation anymore, which makes sense because, like, being unemployed is a bad trait, so it's a negative thing. And it's basically not an occupation. Like, what's your job? My job is not having job. Like, it was not making any sense. So good thing that they got rid of it. And now let's talk about the traits. They reworked some of the traits. They added some of the traits. I mean, not they didn't. They added some good traits, but they didn't really touch the bad traits. They only changed the way those traits were. And another good thing that I kind of like notice from these traits is that the description is very more detailed than the previous version. That's a good thing. So let's talk about the new traits that have been added. First things first is the wilderness knowledge. Craving, foraging, napping, and maintenance. You can find medical herbs and herbs. Herbs is better. Why Americans say herbs? Like, if you're an American, tell me in the car, why do you say herb instead of herb? Say herbs. Why you like skip the H? I don't know. And craft medicines and poultices from them and make simple stone and bone tools. It's a very good trait to have. That's why it costs 8. Just like thick skin. I really don't like this one. I don't know why I don't like thick skin. It's good to have it, but it's too much. And that's that. Another thing, if you pick it, the herbalist is going to be removed because basically you'll be an herbalist as well. So another thing that they added is whittler. You can carve woods and bones, make items. Yeah, this version of the game, it's like a new world. It's a new game. Just I'm telling you. You have the new skill craving as well. With this, you can improve it and get some fat bonuses to the XP. The final thing for the good traits are the blacksmith knowledge. Now you can build your own weapons, your own tools with smelted irons. How crazy is that? I told you guys, this is a new game. This is basically a new game. So yeah, they changed the value of some of these as well, which is nice, which is very nice. Also, they changed the value of the bad traits. Now, for the bad traits, they didn't add anything, but they changed some of them. For example, the slow metabolism and fast metabolism. There used to be, for example, obese traits, high weight, overweight, and underweight, and severely underweight. They changed those into 2 factors: fast metabolism and slow metabolism. Slow metabolism is that you gain weight faster from the calories. Like, for example, you eat cereal, you get much more weight from it than a normal guy. And also you start the game with high weight. And also vice versa for fast metabolism. You don't get much value out of foods, you don't get much weight out of foods, high calorie foods, and you start the game as a low weight character. And they only cost 2, so you have to, all in all, you have to min-max more with this build, but you still can make some good characters, some strong characters. So I don't say it's a bad thing that they just nerfed so many of these bad traits. For example, high thirst, it was not used to be 1 point only. Now it only gives you 1 point for having it. They noticed that people just used high thirst as a free point. Now you only get 1 point out of it. It's still worth going for it. And also they nerfed the smoker as well. And the way they nerfed it, if you pick the smoker, now it makes sense actually. Again, very good job. If you pick smoker, basically I'm not a smoker, but smokers do not have much lung capacity. So their fitness, you shouldn't be able to, they're not very fit. So you shouldn't be able to pick the fitness traits when you're a smoker. So when you pick the smoker, it's a downside to it. So you probably don't want to take it if you want to have a character that stays in the fights more. If you pick the smoker, you can't take the athletic or the feet. So I like this as well. Let's see what they changed. They changed the name of agrophobic and claustrophobic. They're the same still. And yeah, that's that. Nothing else changed in the bad traits. But another nice thing, nice thing. Short-sighted. Actually, you're now short-sighted if you don't have if you don't have glasses on, and also you're less effective with weapon sight, so your accuracy is a little bit impacted by it, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. So these are the things for the traits and occupations. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about skills. When you go to the skills, the first thing you notice is that they categorized every single part. For example, they categorized farming, physical, survival, crafting, combat in melee, combat in firearm. So it's very nice and tidy for you. For example, I want to just only track my melee combat for a time. I only open that up, so I don't need to look at a very long list trying to find which one is the melee one. And another good thing is that they actually added description to each of these skills. So let's talk about some new ones. The first one is the tracking. You can hunt animals right now, and the animals that I found were turkeys and rabbits. And you can see the first 8 is now a survival, that in the survival category, and you have all the classic ones: trapping, foraging, fishing, and other stuffs. As you can see, the full description of each trait, each skill is there. These are the physical ones, these are the old ones, you know them. Now the farming is nice: animal care, butchering, and agriculture. Agriculture basically is the farming, the old farming, and you can grow crops better. It's self-explanatory. The description is in all skills. Now animal care is nice when you milk a cow, and yeah, there are new animals to this game. Therefore, these skills you farm, and butchering, like animal care is basically getting milk and wool. You get more, and butchering is for killing them. You get more meat out of them. So this is for the farming. Now in the crafting, there are some classic ones like carpentry, but the carving is the first one that will catch your eyes. Is basically making tools out of wood. The glass making is melting some glasses, making some glass furnitures and stuff. So basically just utensils. And knapping is basically carving, but you carve stones. And masonry is that they added new blocks, just like Minecraft, they added new blocks to the game, which is the brick walls. Pottery is basically you're making bricks and other pottery stuffs like vases and stuffs. Mechanic and metalworking is the same. Now tailoring, they added some huge stuffs that you can do with tailoring. You can make so many armors and also clothes. Next thing is wielding, and this is another new thing that added. It used to be like merged with metalworking. Now the wielding is a separate category. Basically, you can make some fortifications for your buildings, make some barbed wires. And spear, now in the combat, in melee, you have all the classic ones, but the spear is now permanently added. It used to be there, but it was kind of hidden until you make a spear and use a spear, but now it's there. Also, you can see all the classic ones: axe, long blunt, short blunt. And let's go to the firearms. And the firearms is the same classic ones. Also, there were no changes to other portions. I mean, nobody cares about them anymore. So these are the skills. Another thing that they added that is actually nice, I like it, is that annotated maps are like this now. There is nothing else around it, and they're related to that town. This is, for example, Riverside, and this is gas station. So basically you need to open up your map as well and try to compare. Okay, now what's in the game? To be honest, just run the game and play it yourself because there are tons of new stuffs, tons of new tools, new items, new food, new armor sets. For example, the baseball player armor set, you can just have the shoulder pads, and you can have the knee pads, you can have the arm pads. Uh, yeah, you can secure your character a lot. You can craft so many new items now, which if I just try to talk about all of them, it's going to be a like 3 hour long video. So I'm just going to keep it short. I'm just saying that just you have to you have to go into the game and experience it yourself. Now let's talk about the like. So therefore, I'm going to just talk about the amazing and very bold stuffs that you will immediately notice. One of them is the moods of your character, which are on the top right. They are bigger now and more detailed. They have new arts. I like them. Although the background color is a little bit deceiving, it's hard to like without moving your mouse over it. It's hard to notice that if it's a severe one or it's only like a very mild one. That's that. Now let's talk about the animals. There are some domestic animals that added to the game and also some wild animals. The wild animals are not that much. They're deers, rabbits, and turkeys. And the way to find them is the new that skill that I just talked about, the tracking, and a new tracking system. You have to like find their palm print, their dunks, their droppings and stuffs, and you will find them and you will kill them for leathers, meat, and other good stuffs. And the domestic ones are pigs, cows, sheep, and chickens. And you know that like you can farm them for their meat, leather, eggs, and milk. And it's awesome. So, and another with this animal stuff comes a new mechanic, which how these animals actually work. So they have a safe zone. It's a you can like pop it up. It's a blue area. They stay in this area until they get thirsty, hungry, or get scared off by zombies. And also, you need to secure this area because foxes usually attack the chickens especially, and they will kill them. And also, they need water and grass for feeding. And they have another mechanic, which is the mating season. If you want to like multiply them, uh, you can turn it on or off if you're on a sandbox, so they won't have any mating seasons or stuff. And another thing for the animals is that you can carry them around with a new uh, container added to the game that you can attach it to the back of your car and bring them to your base anywhere you want. You can pick them up as well, but you'll get over encumbered so easily, so you need to have a car nearby. Another thing that you will immediately notice is that your character actually makes sounds, like when you hop over or jump over a fence, when you're fighting, when you're tired. Your character you will feel that your character is actually more alive. It's not a robotic character that you just drag around. It's an actual human being, which is very good. Another thing that I really enjoyed that like the basically it's a modded game. It feels like you just modded the game. You can use knives and for knives or screwdrivers to open up cans now. Thank goodness they made a mod for it, and now it's actually in the base game. Very good, very good. I'm really happy that this one actually exists, because it was a pain. You had to like and it was not like making any sense. Like it's doable. And it's not that hard. So yeah, it's a very good thing they added. They, to be honest, they tried to make the game more realistic, which I'm very, very, very interested in. Okay, let's talk about fighting. Now, they changed some stuffs in the mechanics as well, but mostly it's the tools that you can play. There are so many stuffs that you can use as a weapon in the game that introduced to the new build. And another thing that you're going to experience is that after swinging a little bit with that weapon, for example, an axe, your character experiences in the health panel experiences some muscle strains. And this is because of you swinging a lot and your character is not very experienced with that weapon, and he or she doesn't know how to swing it well. So it will backfire and he will get some muscle strains, which in time, when it gets far more severe, it will make your character swing slower. And by leveling up in that weapon, you will actually negate this bad effect. Also, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the aiming. Aiming, for firearms, they changed it, and it's a little bit hard to understand. That I need to play more to completely understand what the hell does it do. But the stuff that I learned until now, after shooting a little bit, is that that green, there's a white circle and there's some red circle appearing when you're in range, when the zombie is in range. And when it's red, your accuracy is not that high. Your shot has a lesser chance to land. But when it's turned to yellow and green, the chance the chance of you landing the shot will be increased. But there's another thing that it has. There are some cursors. There are some like signs on the four aspects of that circle, white circle, that the more they get close to the circle, the more accurate you are. Also, just like the green circle, it's just like that. So if it touches the circle, and probably the color of that circle will become a bright green, that's a 100% accurate shot. That's what I found out. Tell me in the comments, what did you find out from the new aiming mechanic? I don't know if it's good or bad. I need to play a little bit more with it to see if it's really good or really bad. But we'll see. Also, I need to add, they added new firearms to the game as well as the new melee weapons. Also, your melee weapons have a sharpness bar that you can sharpen them up for more damage. And also, if they break, as I mentioned before, they can break and you can use them as a secondary option for weapons. You can also use their broken parts to build new weapons. Also, with the new occupations and new skills that are introduced to the game, you can reinforce your weapons furthermore. For example, the baseball bat, now it can be reinforced to so many variable weapons with variable materials added to it. And for tailoring, for example, if you know a little bit of tailoring and and a little bit of metalworking, you can build armors that are very, very strong. You can make some helmets, masks, so many tons of stuffs. And with blacksmith, you can make metal armors as well. It's a Mad Max universe right now. And there are so many ways to role play, which, like, this game is amazing. It used to be, it was amazing. Now it's amazing in a higher level, in my opinion. And also on the top left of your screen, you used to have only one option for crafting. It was called crafting. Now you have two options. Other than crafting, you have the building option, which you will build all the stations needed for each occupation that has a station to work with. For example, farming. In farming, you will have some drying racks, some places to butcher, to hang the butchered animals and harvest their skin and meat. For pottery, you have some kilns and other, like for example, presses to press those clays into bricks. For smith, you have anvil, which you can shape the metals. Also, you have the furnace to melt the metals and then shape them in an anvil. There are tons of stuff to do in this build, and I'm very happy that it's out and they put so many efforts to it. They added new TV stations and TV channels and radio channels to add more to the lore, so you can listen to them for more lore if you're interested. Okay, now let's talk about buildings. Buildings got changed too. Basically, they added new basements. So now buildings have basements, and also the buildings are taller now. You can expect seeing taller buildings. And it's not only dedicated to new cities, the older cities also got changed. They added some new home, and also they implemented these basement and big apartments to those cities as well. Probably the big apartments you should see more often in Louisville, and basements are basically all over the place. And I like the new designs. Everything feels nice, and also I feel like the new wallpapers also implemented into the game, because I've never seen some of these wallpapers before. They look nice. Okay, let's talk about the locations. The first thing is the Echo Creek, sorry. And it's the location that you can spawn in, and it's the only one. And it's relatively close to the three new major cities that they added, so it's a very good location to spawn in if you want to go there and check. It's surrounded with so many farms, which you can find animals there, so also another good plus. It has a gas station and an auto shop, also a church, which is not very not very impressive, but the auto shop and gas station might be a little bit impressive. But all in all, nothing much you can find here. You can loot the houses. It has a couple of houses around it, and you can have a good start from here. Next up, Irvington. It's a relatively big city. It has a small gas station. It has a very big cemetery and a church next to it. And also, it has a police department, it has a firefighter department, it has a bank, it has a community center. Also, it has a huge tool shop where you can go there and find some sledgehammers, maybe, or some necessary tools for your smithing. Also, at the end of the city, at least this one I found out, was the gun store. You can check that out as well. All in all, I really like this city. And let's go to the next one. Okay, the next one is Ikron, and it's relatively small, very small, among other two major cities. It has a school, and also it has this weird firefighter center, I guess. It's a firefighter center, probably. And also it has a factory, another huge factory in the northern part of the city. Also, it has gun stores, it has the pharmacy, it has some supermarkets where you can get your stuff. And another interesting thing is there's a train wreck. You can go loot some of the cargoes as well. How crazy is that? Also, the northern factory up ahead, probably it's a train building factory, Other than that, I did not go inside of it because it was well protected, and I just wanted to briefly show you guys how it looks like. Okay, the next one is Brandenburg, the final one. It has a place that there are so many shops around. It has a Gigamart, it has a auto shop, and some other stores. Also, it has a fire department, a police department, and it has some gun stores as well, which is barred, unfortunately. But in this build, a quick note, you can wield the fences. You can dismantle the fences, which is awesome. Also, it has a small gas station as well. And these are what I find out briefly. And it also has a court, a prison. Basically, it's a very big area. And it's very well defended, so it's a very good candidate for your base too, because of the barbed wire fences. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it was a little bit like informative. I tried to not spoil everything. You should go and try it out yourself because it's so much stuff. Like I tried to spoil actually, but I was not been able to like squeeze everything into one video. I'm going to start a run soon, and we're going to explore these 3 cities step by step, and we're going to check out the mechanics that added to the game as well. See you guys in the next video. Thank you guys, and sayonara.